Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Gauranga, Hare Gauranga, Hare Gauranga, Hare Gauranga, Hare Gauranga, Hare Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we're going to have Abhisheck for everyone now. So you please go and give your name outside and get a collar of milk so you can bathe Lord Nityananda. So we're going to start now. It's already 6:30. So please go ahead. You have the paperwork? You have the paper?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Hare Nityananda,
Jai
ডাবের জলটা দিও।
Nityananda,
Nityananda Rama ki jai. Thank you for saying it. It's so nice to celebrate. This mic has its own mind, so sometimes it likes to work, and sometimes it doesn't. So you just have to bear with me on the chord. Well, the is the chord. So it must be.
Who's the master?
Just have to make sure I don't touch it. Very nice. How many of you do not know who he is? How many of you have never heard of him? Perfect. So Radhika, for you and everyone else here, we're going to rehear some beautiful significance of celebrating Sri Nityananda Trayodasi. So let me just speak from this song that we sang, because I think that will be easier. So you get to know who he is. Here the song says, Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Akrodha means devoid of anger. It's very difficult to be free from anger. Most of us know that trying to enjoy the material world can be very frustrating and often leads to a lot of anger, because Bhagavad Gita explains, Dhyayato Vishayam Pumsham Sangas Desu Vijayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodha Vijayate. When the desires are not fulfilled, then we become angry. You can test yourself. Whenever you're angry, it means something that you wanted was not given to you. The way you wanted was not provided for you, so you become angry. And here, Lord Nityananda Prabhu is akrodha, is free of anger. Anger is not such a great quality in spiritual life, in material life as well. Because what is anger? Anger is like a hot piece of coal. Has anyone seen what a coal is? When you barbecue, you use coal. When you make barbecue corn, I watched what coals are. In India, we don't get to see coals like this. It's a little different here. So when there's a hot coal in your hand, that's what anger is like. And normally when something is burning you, what do? You throw it at anybody you want. So what it is always missing its target. Anger never hits its target. Will always miss the target. And anger is also known to be always disproportionate. You can go to work, come home. If you had a bad day at work, you come home and, poor husband, poor wife, someone is going to get the brunt of it. This is the result of anger. It's very important to understand that Lord Nityananda Prabhu is free from anger. And that means when you're free from anger, then you can actually be Nityananda. Nityananda means eternally happy. That's what eternal happiness is, what Nityananda means. And Abhimana Sunya. Abhiman means no false ego. It is very difficult to be in this world and be devoid of false ego. It is not something that is very easy to overcome in one lifetime. Sometimes it can take millions of lifetimes to get over this false ego. And why is it? And why is it that Lord Nityananda, for him it's so, Lochandas is explaining, it's very nice. This Abhimana, Sunya Nitai. Abhiman, this false ego is gone, doesn't exist. Because false ego only exists in the material world. The false ego doesn't exist in the spiritual world. So in our devotee lives, if our false ego comes out, it is a check for us to know that we haven't reached that spiritual stage where we are devoid and free of this false ego. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu is completely devoid of this false ego. I was thinking, as we were singing this song, I didn't know how many people was going to show up, so I was just going to share my heart about Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And as I was singing this song, I was thinking how in our lives, many times when we're coming to this material world, we've been given a certain name, a certain identity by our parents or grandparents. And most of the times, the names that we are given by our parents are names of people that they know, or someone that they know. Someone who has nice qualities, they will give a name after that. Or some demigods. In India they use demigods. and Krishna, because they're thinking of that personality and hoping those qualities will come into the samskara, the impressions of the child. But in the material world, what happens nowadays, people pick a child's name. When that name is picked, the child in the womb is already feeling the pressure and the heat of coming into this world with a false identity that is not the child. An identity that is given to us by our parents, our grandfathers, mothers. And that samskara is being fed into this child as the mother is thinking how I want Gopinath Prabhu to be like this great nuclear scientist in India, Abdul Kalam. We want him to be like this, and we name him something like that. So there is a lot of expectation. While the baby is already in the womb, the identity is being given. And throughout the life of the child, the identity goes on and is bigger and bigger and bigger. So much so, the boy forgets, the girl forgets who or he she is. When we operate from a space when we do not know who we are, that is called false ego. And this is what Sri Nityananda Prabhu is completely devoid of. I was given a name Vedasara. When I got this name, I was thinking, I asked my spiritual master, I said, how did you come up with this name? He said, because every time I think of Krishna, I think the essence of the Vedas. Vedascha sarvaira hameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. And so therefore, you have to be the knower of all the Vedas. And I immediately remember the pressure I felt. I was 14 years old, and I'm given this name that I have to memorize all the Vedas. I have to know the Vedas. So it was a lot of pressure. So there is material pressure, spiritual pressure. So the identity is given regardless. But when that identity is not connected to Krishna, when it's not connected to the divine, then that becomes the false ego. And Sri Nityananda Prabhu, because Sri Nityananda Prabhu is non-different than Krishna. Krishna is like the dark rain cloud, and Balaram is the spring clouds. Very beautiful, right? That is the only difference. There is a difference in color, and there is no other difference. And the unique position that Sri Nityananda Prabhu personifies is the personification of seva, personification of service. If you look at Krishna's pastimes, wherever there is Krishna, see? See, when we talk about Krishna, Krishna shows up in the form of the Nihal names. So, Lord Balaram is not different than Krishna. Rajendra Nandana Jai Sachisuta Hoilosei Balarama Hoilanita. So Lord Balaram, just being a different color, is a very unique position. He is the servant God. It's very important to understand. Servant God, God who is personification of seva. So we see Lord Balaram, he expands as Mahavishnu, and then we see Mahavishnu, who is the super soul of the cosmic creation. The entire cosmic creation is represented by Lord Balaram. And then in every universe, there is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then in the heart of each and every soul, there is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So Balaram is everything that you see outside and everything that you see inside. This is Lord Balaram. This is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And he is, very interestingly, he carries a plow. And the reason he carries a plow is that he will pave the way in your heart, because plow is for farming. Normally in India we use plows for farming. When you farm the land, then you're able to cultivate the land and harvest it very nicely to plant whatever you want in there. So Balaram, he carries the plow because he will go and plow your heart so nicely so that this prema bhakti that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give will actually be able to be harvested properly. And this is why Balaram is known as the Guru, the Adi Guru. And very interestingly, when I think of Balaram as the Guru, he is a very heavy Guru. Very interesting. Because if you know the story of Ramaharshana Sutta, all he was doing is he was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. He was not doing anything wrong. But when Balaram came in, he did not show respect. And because he didn't show the respect, he just took a blade of grass and touched it to the heart of Ramaharshana Sutta, and his heart just burst into pieces. So this is the Guru. Lord Balaram as the Guru. He's heavy. And you know Lord Balaram, he is known to kill so many demons. He's very ferocious. He's protecting Krishna, that is his seva. Sri Vrindavan Dham is an expansion of Balaram. If you want to serve Krishna, you have to go through Balaram. You have to go through Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nitayar Karuna Have, Braje Radha Krishna Pave. Without going through Lord Nityananda Prabhu, then you will not get Radha and Krishna. Because everything we offer to Krishna, it is taken by Lord Balaram in the form of the spiritual master. And then it is offered to Srimati Radharani, and then he then offers it to Krishna. So there is a process. All of this, there is a process on how to actually get to Krishna. So Balaram plays this role. But very interestingly, in this Kali Yuga, Balaram is the opposite. Is the opposite of Krishna. He has come as the son of Harai Pandit in Ekachakra Gram. And when he came, very young boy, no one could stay away from him. Every child was completely captivated by his beautiful, loving, compassionate energy. That's why we see the Acharyas are saying, Koti Chandra Sushitala. That Sri Nityananda Prabhu, his lotus feet is like 1,000 moons. One moon is very soothing. Imagine 1,000 moons, how soothing it is. Why? Because the compassion of Lord Balaram is all pervasive. His mercy is all pervasive. You cannot, even if you don't want his mercy, he will give it to you. And that is the uniqueness of Lord Balaram. When he comes to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he indiscriminately, he goes knocking on every single door. Abhimana Sunya, he has no false ego, so he doesn't mind going on knocking on every single door to give them Krishna Prema. So this is the interesting thing about Balaram in Kali Yuga. When he comes, he just completely takes the opposite role that he has had in every other incarnation. And here, he's giving it very freely. In Nityananda Charitamrita, there's a very beautiful book. You can read also. And there it explains these two, Jagai and Madhai. They're known to be very notorious. They're so notorious that there is no sinful activities that they have not committed. You know, when we go to the Yamaraj, this great devotee of Krishna who is presiding over the hellish planets, when we go see him, you know, there is someone named Chitragupta who is actually observing everything that you have done wrong. There is a note. Chitra means picture, Gupta means secret. So secret picture, someone secretly is taking picture of all our actions. That is visible. So Chitragupta, who is actually documenting everything that the jivas are doing, they're completely shocked. that how this Jagai and Madhai, they have committed so many sinful activities that their books, their hard drive is full, and their hard drive never fails. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu, when he and Haridas Thakur are sent out by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go knocking door to door and giving out this prema bhakti, then Jagai and Madhai, these two notorious drunkards, they were so drunk, they didn't even know when it was day and when it was night. They were so drunk. And they have committed so many sinful activities. So, Madhai had broken the head of Nityananda Prabhu with his beer bottles. Imagine, because he was so unconscious. And Nityananda Prabhu picked him up and embraced him. And so, Madhai, he later on became Madhavananda Prabhu. And very, very repentant. His whole life, when he got the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he just cried. There was not a single day that he did not cry. Every waking moment of his life he was crying. Why was he crying? Because he was repenting that how Sri Nityananda Prabhu is so merciful that in every incarnation he has given the opposite in this lifetime. Even after being hit on the head, is still giving him prema bhakti. So when he saw Nityananda Prabhu, he fell at his feet and immediately begged for forgiveness. And Sri Nityananda Prabhu picked him up. He said, "My dear Madhai, you are very dear to my heart. So please, come up and embrace me." So when Madhai came and embraced Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Madhai was dousing the beautiful body of Nityananda Prabhu with his tears of repentance for breaking his head. And Nityananda Prabhu didn't take any offense. He said, "Madhai, how can I take any offense against you? You're like a child that has made mistakes." But the father and the mother never hold it against the child. So please understand that you're immediately forgiven of all the misdeeds. But then Madhai went back down to touch the feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and he says, "What do you want now?" He said, "Well, while I was living my life, I don't remember any time when I was not intoxicated. I was never me. And I have unknowingly committed so many sinful offenses to the Dhamvasis in Vrindavan, in Navadvip. So I need you to please forgive me. Because I have no idea who I have committed offenses to." It's a very important point that the Acharyas make, because we can make offenses unknowingly as well. So he is begging for forgiveness to Lord Nityananda Prabhu for offenses that he may have unknowingly committed. So Nityananda Prabhu said, "Yes, this is such a beautiful request. So therefore, I'm going to give you a special seva. Because the offenses to the Vaishnavas can only be mitigated by service." And so he gave him a special seva. That on the bank of the Ganga, there was something called a ghat. Ghat is where people go and they bathe in the Ganga. You say your service is to make ghats for the people to bathe in the Ganga, and you please keep it clean. So he built, that was his seva, to be forgiven from all the offenses that he has committed towards the Vaishnavas. So Madhai, imagine Sri Nityananda Prabhu, in other incarnations, there's no mercy. Pralambasura, Vivida Gorilla, he just smashed everybody. Dhenukasura. In this, you smash him and he's still giving you prema bhakti. And this is why Sri Nityananda Prabhu is considered the personification of mercy of Krishna. Mahaprabhu's mercy, Mahaprabhu is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanda. Mahaprabhu is none different than Radha and Krishna. And the mercy of Radha and Krishna combined is the form of Nityananda Prabhu. And they used to very dearly call him Nitai. Very merciful. So Madhai used to make these ghats and wait for Dhamvasis used to come to bathe. And he would take care of them and serve them so nicely. And in this way, in Mayapur when you go, there is a village called Nidaya. Means no mercy. That's where Mahaprabhu, he crossed the Ganga to take sannyas. That place is still there, and that ghat was made by Madhai for the service of the devotees. So in this way, I know my time is up. In this way, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, sorry, we only got one verse out of it. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu is so merciful. And I remember listening to this song. It's very popular. When Srila Prabhupada came to Atlanta, I think Balabhadra Prabhu, you were here. And every time you hear that song, and you can see the deep emotion that Srila Prabhupada has for this Parama Karuna Bahudvijana, these two brothers are so merciful that they personally have come to this material world. And it is explained in Nityananda Charitamrita that Nityananda Prabhu literally, he carried the plow and he dug the hearts of all the living entities and freely gave them Krishna Prema. So he could open the floodgates, because we have a lot of doors in our hearts. There's many, many chambers, and we hide a lot of things, a lot of pain and suffering, and a lot of resistance. So Nityananda Prabhu, he goes and he opens the door so that you can become the beneficiary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So on this Nityananda Trayodasi, I humbly request you to please take this opportunity, because Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the original Guru. He's the personification of all the Gurus. And Gurus are of 5 types. And in the heart, as Chaita Guru, Sri Nityananda Prabhu is waiting. So please, let's take this opportunity to take shelter of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is everywhere, all-pervasive, and particularly in our hearts, so that our hearts will open up more and more, so the floodgates of Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema means the highest transcendental form of unconditional love. That is only available when we transcend this material platform. Shri Nityananda Rama Ki Jai. Balabhadra Prabhu, would you like to share something? Somebody heard me? So, Shweta, we ready for Kirtan?
Just announce this name.
Names? So we have Anant Dalvi and Gita Mataji, Uttama Radhika Mataji, Rana Saha, Badri Narayan Prabhu, Vardhana Mataji, Ankur Mazumdar, Krishna Sharanam Prabhu, and Ravi Sahani Prabhu, Rupa Krishna Prabhu. If you don't mind, I think you're all doing Arati to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And I request Kartik to come up to lead the Kirtan. Shri Nityananda Rama Ki Jai.
Everyone, please stand up. We're going to be having Arati. Hare Krishna.
Jai Krishna Hare
Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Iskan Liberty Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Brahma Gauriya Sampradaya Acharya Vrinda ki Sri Rup Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sarva Goswami Prabhupada ki Nam Acharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Rasa Sri Gaura Bhakta Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakanda Radha Giriraj Gopa ki Braja Bhumi Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki Mayapur Navadip Dhama ki Sangamay Jamana Mai ki Bhakti Devi Tulasi Maharani ki Nirbani Hatti Dhama ki Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki Yamunad Baladev Subhadra Devi ki Radha Madan Mohan ki Shri Nityananda Trayodasi Mahamahotsav ki Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Let's put our hands together, same feet. Together, everybody. Can't hear everyone. A little louder. Namaste, Namaste, prashadam that is going to be served outside. Oh, the boxes are here. So as you go out, please don't forget to collect a box of dinner packed for you already.
I think it's going.
So all the devotees who have sponsored and bathed Sri Nityananda Prabhu, we want to offer you our biggest gratitude and appreciation for making this festival a success. Everyone together, Bolo Nityananda Rama Ki Jai! Bolo Nityananda Rama Ki Jai! Bolo Nityananda Rama Ki Jai! Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai!